Hey guys, what's up? It's MrCrayfish and welcome back to my modding tutorials. In this tutorial today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to add in crafting recipes. Now, I wanted to get this tutorial out of the way before we continue on going on to more difficult and advanced tutorials, because this is something that should be it should be done. It's something easy. It should be done right now. So we're going to be doing this in this tutorial today. Now, I just want to remind you guys that my Patreon is now live. So if you want to get access to the source code of these tutorials and also want better help in case you run into any problems, just go over to my Patreon, donate, pledge at least $1, and then you'll be able to ask me questions a lot more directly. So link is in the description below if you want to do that. But anyway, let's get into this tutorial today. It's probably going to be quite short tutorial because there's only a couple of things that I want to do, and that is create a crafting recipe for the block of cheese and then the jar block. So let's go ahead, and inside of our initialization package here, we're going to create a new class and call it mod crafting. Press finish, and then inside of there we're going to create one method called public static void register, and then inside this method is where we're going to create all of our crafting recipes. So we're going to call game registry dot add shaped recipe. So we're going to create a recipe for the cheese block first. So we're going to do, for the first parameter here, we're going to give it an item stack. So this is basically the output. So we're going to give ourselves a block of cheese when we fill up all 9 crafting slots with a cheese item. So we're going to do new item stack. And then inside of item stack parameter, we're simply going to call mod items dot mod blocks dot cheese, and then we make sure we need to import item stack here. So item stack from net.minecraft.item, and then this second parameter here is where we start doing all our definitions for the shape of the crafting recipes and what materials we have to use. So what we're going to do to make this a whole lot easier is we're going to do quotation, put 3 spaces inside of it, comma, we're going to go onto a new line here, then you want to space until we get back into line with that. We're going to do exactly the same, quotation, 3 spaces, do that again, quotation, 3 spaces, and then now what we can do is visualize this a whole lot easier. So think about this as your 3x3 crafting grid. We've got a three spaces here going on the horizontal, and then 3 spaces going down like that. So we've got our 3x3 crafting area. What we're going to do is start from the top here. So what I said I wanted to do is make it so we fill in all 9 slots on the crafting bench, and then that will give with cheese, and that will give us our block of cheese. So what we're going to do is fill up all the top here with cheese, and we can identify that by going CCC. We still have to define what C is, but we can just kind of tell we can tell that C is going to equal cheese a lot easier when we do look at this. So we fill up all the 9 slots here, CCC. Now we're going to put this back onto one line now. That's just to make it a lot easier to visualize it. Then after this last one here, we're going to do comma, and then you're going to do single quotes, not double quotes, and then put in C in there. That represents the character C. Then another comma, and then we want to define what that C is going to be. So we're going to type in mod items here, and then put in cheese. Now you might be asking, how do you do that more than like one material in a crafting recipe? Well, the next one will show you this a lot better. So now we've actually finished creating our crafting recipe there. When we fill up all the 9 slots with our mod item cheese there, it will give us our block of cheese. So let's do the next crafting recipe, which is for the jar. Add shaped recipe, then we need to do a new item stack, and then we need to put in our jar there, so mod blocks dot jar, and then again we're going to visualize this, so quotation, 3 spaces, new line, one, two, three, and then 1, 2, 3. So what we're going to do for the jar is we need to lit up the top here. So we're going to leave that top left slot there free. We're then going to put a coal block here. So we're going to take that space around, take that space away, and put a coal block there. We're going to represent it by its name, which is C coal block, and then this top right space is going to be free. We're then going to put in all these 3 in this row here, all glass, so GGG is going to be all glass, and then at the bottom here we're going to have the coal, because it's going to be the base of the jar, so coal, coal, coal. Now we're going to put this back onto a single line here. Then we need to define what C is and what G is, so we'll do C first, so comma and then single quotes, put C there. Then C is going to be a coal block, so we're simply going to call Minecraft's class here blocks dot coal block, and another comma. Then we just need to do this again, so single quotation and then what G is going to be, then comma blocks dot stained glass. Now you might be wondering, how do we get metadata blocks? Because stained glass is a metadata block. It has more than, it has different colors. So all we have to do there is, instead of typing blocks.stained glass, we do a new item stack, and then put that blocks.stained glass as the parameter there, but we've also got to define some extra ones. So comma 1, that's the quantity, we just want 1. You shouldn't have more than 1 anyway. And then comma and then the metadata. Now the metadata for white, let's have a look real quickly, I'm just going to go on the wiki, is 0. So we just simply put 0 there, and now it basically restricts only the stained glass that is white to be able to use. If we didn't do that, you'd be able to use any stained glass to actually create this jar, and we don't want that. So we're going to we're going to save now, so Control S, and then we need to go over to our tutorial class here, and I think we're going to put this inside of our initialization method here. So under proxy.init, we're going to call mod crafting.register. Save that. If we run the game now and we get out a crafting table, what we're going to do is get out a bunch of cheese here. So give us ctm item cheese, and then we might do 64 or 54, damn it. So what we did for the cheese block is we fill in all these 9 slots here with the cheese, and it looks like we've gotten a cheese block. That's awesome. Then for the jar here, we need 4 coal blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the white stained glass, which is 3 of them. So as I said, this is like a lid at the top here, then we have 3 stained glass filling that in, and then 3 coal at the bottom there, and there we go, our jar. Click on that. Yay, look at that, how cool. So the crafting recipes are pretty simple. Hopefully my explanation made them easy to understand. But that's going to be it for this tutorial today. Again, if you want to support me on Patreon and get access to all this source code, maybe you made some mistakes, or maybe you want some support as well from me, pledge at least $1 and then I can help you guys out. But anyway, I will see you guys for the next tutorial. Bye bye.